Introducing DSG's 5MT podcast, where we draw inspiration from the annual 3-minute thesis or 3MT competition for PhD candidates, challenging them to explain complex research in 3 minutes or less. In each 5-minute episode, we'll dive into a marketing topic, giving you actionable information in a fast-moving and fun format. Tune in for quick, valuable marketing insights on the 5MT podcast by your DSG marketing team.
Hey, Paige, how you doing?
Hi, Mike. I'm good. So glad to be here.
I am ecstatic for our next episode here. I think this has gone super well.
I know.
Getting a great deal of feedback from people in the field and
people not in the
family.
field. It's more like, I might be biased, but I think it's fantastic. Even though I'm your husband, I think you're great.
That's right. Jill doesn't feel the same way, but anyway, I'll leave her off the hook. So we've been having a competition, whether we know it or not, willingly or unwillingly, having this competition.
This organically came about.
Yes. So we've been desperately trying to avoid marketing jargon in this podcast, just for everybody's benefit, for the world's benefit. Okay. That being said, we're getting flagged now. Jack has done a great job. Jackie M.
Thanks, Jackie
our
M.
producer.
Thank you.
He's done a great job flagging us. And at some point, Paige, we got to put our money where our mouth is.
No.
So
really?
I think we need to settle on a bet.
Oh my God. I'm not a gambling person because I usually lose.
This will be episode 10. I think maybe we go the next 10 episodes.
Okay, 10
right?
episodes.
And
yep.
whoever has been flagged for more marketing jargon loses.
Okay, Jackie, you're gonna keep track?
So
right?
we'll keep score.
Like we usually
I like
do?
that. So
okay,
now,
excellent.
We'll have a score at 0-0 from episode 10 and the next 10 episodes beyond. Whoever is leading after that,
yes,
you guys decide what the loser has to do, what the winner has to do.
Okay.
So you have any thoughts, Paige, off the bat? If you win, what would you like to get?
Well, I'm going to be very basic here and say, I don't own a Stanley Cup. I don't own a big dumb cup.
Wow. Well, yeah, but they're amazing. They're well insulated. I could do a whole product review here.
I know,
actually.
they're so good. They might have lead in them, but I don't know if I really care about it.
It's a little lead.
Okay, so could I also get it engraved?
Oh, 100%. What would you need it to say? I think it has to.
It has to be like something regarding being the winner, and you can decide what you can say. You can decide.
Okay.
Surprise me with a good.
Okay, then
you're very creative.
We'll save
with
it.
that.
I'll
yes.
save the reveal. Okay, I like that a lot. Okay.
Yes.
If I win,
number one basketball player.
If I win, you have to take me to the bar formerly known as The Office.
Okay.
You have to
love
buy
that
me
place.
3 vodka martinis because 3 is a diving board. Then you got to drive me to the train station.
3? Oh my God, I don't think I've ever sat with you and had 3.
No, and it has to be an off hour, like 2:00 in the afternoon.
Oh my God.
So.
Well, yes, our EVP would be joining us as well.
Yeah, he can come, but you don't have to pay for him.
Okay, yeah, maybe I can convince him to pay for both of us.
So Jackie,
okay,
Jackie M, the contest is on.
Yes.
It's in your hands, buddy.
Well, guys, since we're talking about jargon, why don't we stay on the topic of jargon?
Perfect.
Let's stay with that with the question today. And let me ask you guys, can you guys identify and explain some of the marketing jargon terms that you find cause confusion with clients and prospects?
Can I go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so this is a little bit more around education of what we do as an agency. And this actually came out of a conversation I had, again, with my husband. I bring him up a lot on the podcast. But he was asking me, what is the difference between marketing and advertising? And I wanted to throw it over to you, Jackie M., thinking, you have this new Westchester University education. Shout out. And did you deep dive into what the differences are?
Not quite. It was kind of touched on in one of my classes, but to be honest with you, it wasn't explained enough that I even know the answer.
Okay.
So I would love to hear it.
Yes. Oh, well, fabulous. So it's very relevant to even the audience in this room. So that's great. So marketing and advertising, setting the stage. So advertising is part of a marketing strategy. It's a component of marketing. And I think a lot of times, or I've heard like in casual conversation that the two are kind of used interchangeably.
All the time. Yep.
But in fact, advertising is it's actually a big facet of marketing. So think about marketing as more of a strategy, which is identifying the customer needs or your customer needs and determining how to best meet those needs. And so like things that or processes that go into a marketing plan are like researching consumer preferences, creating innovative products and coming up with the right prices in which those people will buy them. Thinking about distribution, like how are these products going to be positioned on the shelves? And then there's also the maintenance of brand and then advertising the brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then at the end of that is also fostering customer relationships. Like how do you relate to your customer?
Yeah.
Advertising, which again is a component of marketing, is the specific campaign that you run and its channels. And
Very good
so
distinction. Yeah.
I know we have only 5 minutes, but I thought this was kind of it's so nuanced in the differences. But like if you take the Coca-Cola brand, if you look in Coca-Cola's marketing world, every decision aims to spread happiness globally, from like the new flavors that they come up with to launching captivating campaigns, plural, that embody the brand's essence of joy. And then an advertising example is Coca-Cola's like iconic like Share a Coke campaign. So that's
absolutely.
very specific, where these personalized bottles like with your name on it, which I love. I always try and find Paige and then I keep it to spark connections and celebrate like worldwide. And it's all about creating a movement. So folks that are Coca-Cola is meeting the customer's need for that connection. So I just thought that was really fascinating and something I wanted to draw the line in the sand.
I think
as a basic piece of knowledge for our audience.
That's so helpful. And like you said, it's constantly used interchangeably. And it's frustrating to those who are trying to separate it and actually execute on one or the other, like an overall strategy or a particular campaign or channel. So very, very helpful. I'm going to go for something very, very jargony that we hear every day and people ask us what it means. And honestly, there's not a great answer because it's so jargony. Ooh. So I'm going to talk about the term impression. And if we're going to get very serious, impressions are the most jargony thing in advertising. For every single channel, especially in digital channels, the expectation assigned to impression, that term, is outrageously different from channel to channel. So I'll give you an example. Like in Google Ads, you can have an impression. That just means that your ad showed up in front of somebody's eyeballs. They don't have to engage with it at all. It just means that it was on the page. If there's an impression on a billboard, it might mean somebody drove by it or was in proximity to somebody that may have not even seen it.
Completely different definition.
Completely different definition. And it speaks to a bigger truth in digital advertising, especially, is that there's a lot of inconsistencies. So it's just to say, understand or ask those questions if you're a small business. What does an impression mean in this case? If you're putting up a billboard at a baseball field, ask, they may just say, we have this many people attending our game. That might be an impression. But if they describe it that way, if anybody describes that term, ask for clarification. I think it's really important. It can be very helpful for you actually understanding how many times your ad is seen.
I feel like we're like so meta with the impressions, but it's so true.
I'm impressed. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I'm very impressed.
I'm impressed.
But that's a great jargon to clear up. And it's with specific channels, and like if you're working with reps from specific channels, put pressure on them to tell you exactly what an impression is.
Yeah, there's no shame in asking for clarification with any of this stuff because it's complicated. It's not, it's designed to be easy to get into for a small business, right? They want you to be able to advertise, but it's not always intuitive when you get to that point where you're ready to pay them. So ask the good questions.
And now the post game with Jackie M.
There are no flags on the play. Obviously, an episode with jargon being the conversation. You guys explained within your answers what you meant, so therefore there are no flags on the play.
Thank you so much for tuning in to DSG's 5MT podcast. I'd love to thank my co-host, Mike Gatos.
Truly my pleasure, and I would like to give a big thank you to our producer, Jack Marinello.
If you enjoyed this podcast, like and subscribe to 5MT. Have a question? Leave a comment. Tune in next time.
Happy
marketing.